I'll give you an example. I have a house in West Covina that has a 5.5-foot statue of the Blessed Mother. It's been there for 25 years. Well, somebody complained about it. The city's telling me, hey, you can't have that statue in your front yard. Well, I can either say, okay, no problem, or say, what code am I violating? Am I on the easement part? I'll move the statue back a few feet, but I will not remove my religious symbol at my house. And they're going to find they ran into the wrong dude, because this is not the time to compromise with the world when it comes to our Catholic faith. And, you know, a guy next door or across the street, he can have the symbol of Satan and it's fine. But if we have something that's religious and Christian, they're going to go after us. So why do I say it's good news? Because it gives me an opportunity to share my Catholic faith with the city officials, which I already did. I said, you know, we're living in a culture where the Supreme Court, one of the Supreme Court justices couldn't figure out the difference between a man and a woman. And this is the society we're in right now. We've got to push back and say, no. We know what a man is. We know what a woman is. For thousands of years, we've known that. What's happened is, I'll tell you what's happened, folks. And this is why we have to push back. We've stopped speaking up for our Catholic faith. We have to take the secular world and say, no. We're not going to follow that. We're going to influence you rather than what's been happening the last 50 or 60 years, where the culture has been influencing the church to compromise. Compromise, again, doesn't work. We know, as I shared, the Associated Press recently ran a story of the collapse of the Methodist Church and other Protestant churches because they tried to become more relevant as a church. You know, we could have ordained ministry with women. We could have same-sex marriage. Yeah. We can kill unborn babies. Yeah, we'll bring more people in. What happened, though, is it did just the opposite. The more irrelevant it came to the customers that were coming to church, they left the church. So we should learn from our Protestant brothers that to be trendy is a recipe for suicide. So that's why I want to encourage people to stand up for the faith. Also, I want to take a couple minutes. We didn't do a whole week-long fundraising letter, but a week of fundraising. I did send an email out to everybody who's on our list requesting some funds at the end of the year. I know the election's over. A lot of people were giving money there. I know the times are tough economically, but if you're in a position to support us, don't forget, we'll get you the Bishop SHEEN priest retreat like we had Father Matthew on today. I'm going to make sure all those seminarians that Father has will get copies of Fulton Sheen's priest retreat, because that's going to build the future of the church. Now, we've been involved in giving thousands of these away to priests over the last 30 or 40 years. We're not a Johnny-come-lately. We've been at this for 40-some years, sharing the gospel. Why? Because it's important, because life is short and eternity is forever. So if you'd like to give a donation, go to vmpr.org. As a matter of fact, I'd like you to do it as a sacrificial living, because remember the gospel today, the widow's mite, you know, your $5, your $10 goes a long ways with us. And you might be in a position to write a $1,000 check, a $5,000 check. Well, I'll thank you in advance. You can call me on my cell phone. I take people's calls all the time, 661-972-7872. I've got several people who I counsel who are pregnant and delivering a baby, and they're challenged by it and not wanting to do that we help them make the right decision. That's because you support us to do that. Right now, we're having a funeral at our chapel. They're praying the rosary there. We made our chapel available for that for people hundreds of times a year. We are involved in an apostolic work of the church because we know life is short and eternity is forever.